Okay, we're back. Baroque Girls Monday, and we're here with Christian A. Pierce, or Cap. What are we talking about today, Cap?
Today we're talking about Arizona, being lanky, and New Year's resolutions, baby.
Yes, we are. How do we all feel about our own names? Like, do you feel like your name suits you?
I've never felt like my name fits.
Really?
No.
Isaiah?
But I feel like everyone else does.
Yeah, you're definitely an Isaiah.
You hated it as a kid?
Yeah. I couldn't stand it.
What did you want it to be?
I didn't want it to really be anything else.
Dante?
Like I couldn't think of Dante, maybe. I don't know. I've always just disliked the name Isaiah because I didn't really I didn't have any nicknames. No one called me Zay until I moved here.
No one called you Ike?
No.
Ike?
I know a guy named Ike, but his real name is Isaiah, but everybody calls him Ike.
Ike? Is
I
that
would've
what
been so
Ike is
cool.
short for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean it could be.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure there's other ones, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ike is a short
Wow.
one for Isaiah.
No one called me Ike.
Do you have a middle name?
Dante.
Oh, okay. Isaiah Dante. And you liked Dante more growing up?
I liked Dante more, but I also felt like I wasn't cool enough for Dante. I actually
You're
feel
cool
like
for Dante.
I don't know.
I've never heard someone have an identity crisis the reverse, where I'm not cool enough for my
Yes,
name.
I did. I feel like it's just because I maybe disliked myself as a kid or something. But I was like, damn, my name isn't. I want my name to be cooler, but my middle name's not. I'm not cool enough to do that yet.
How are you gonna present professionally? Because there's already an Isaiah Washington. Are you gonna
Right.
do Isaiah Dante Washington?
Who's Isaiah Washington?
He was on Grey's Anatomy.
What else?
That's it.
Take his
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I'm like. I feel like he doesn't matter. Like also.
If Isaiah Washington's
Sorry.
listening,
It's just
I
a
feel like
it's just a
it doesn't
competition now.
matter. Yeah, true. Like being something else.
I mean, he's not really anything else though, because I think he got blacklisted for being homophobic.
Oh.
There. Oh,
Like,
Oh,
doors
no.
open.
That's why I'm like,
Your SEO is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, this was
Like-
supposed to happen. This was
Right, exactly. So I'm like, I might just slide in to take his name, if he leaves the union. I don't really know how that works, but
Which union?
SAG after?
What you? What do you mean? You can take his name now. Fuck SAG. Excuse me. You don't have to.
Wait, really? I thought it was
Like
when
on
you joined the
IMDb, you
union.
mean?
No,
Just like in SAG.
I thought if you were in the union that you can't have the same name.
You know how many Michael Johnsons exist in this world that are actors?
No,
Probably a lot. Me neither,
Holy
but a
shit.
lot. It's got to be.
damn.
Yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure.
think about that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, then I'm just gonna take it.
Isaiah Washington.
Yeah, I just because I don't. It would feel wrong going by Isaiah Dante now. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'll just see when the moment.
You'll
comes.
see.
Yeah.
What about you?
I used to really not like my name. I think I have a bunch of different ethnicities, but none of them are Latin in any way.
What's your
Right.
full name?
Maria Small.
Just Maria Small.
Yeah, there's no
That's
middle
it.
name.
Yeah.
But I, on top of just looking ambiguous, everyone was just placing Hispanic, Mexican, whatever, and it was just frustrating. And my family calls me Masha because that's my name, that's the nickname for it in Russian.
Mm.
So people close to me call me Masha, but Masha Small just isn't it? I was considered going by that professionally for a little bit just because it's more you can't tell what ethnicity I am.
Masha Small sounds cool, but it doesn't sound like an artist.
Yeah.
Sounds
yeah.
like a cool girl in your AP bio class.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
it really does. That is
Yeah.
so real.
Yeah, and
What's
that's
she
not
up
me.
to?
That's not me anymore.
That's not
It's
you
Maria
anymore,
Small.
right? Yeah,
That
there you
was
go.
you at one point.
You were Masha Small. You evolved.
I've
evolved, yeah,
I've
'cause
evolved
you were-
into
You were
Maria Small.
valedictorian.
Let them know
You were?
I
You were
was.
valedictorian.
of my high school.
Nerd.
Not of yeah.
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 How big was your high school?
Um,
How big was your graduating class, I guess?
I think it was 400 people.
Let's
Oh,
go.
That's
Yeah,
large.
let's
That was
go.
mine. Mine
That's
was
fire.
500. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a ton of people.
Well, I was tied with a bunch of people. I will say,
Whatever.
but
Right. That's what
I
I'm
gave the
so
speech.
cool.
I gave the speech.
You gave the
Nice.
speech, and that's what's important. That's what people remember. Is the people.
Sure,
who gave the
except
speech.
still on the day of graduation, the vice principal and a bunch of other people afterward, congratulating me on the speech or whatever, called me
Yeah.
Mariah. Another reason I don't like my name because
Third name.
it's a third name, and then also I was just on set with Evan last week,
Yeah.
and on every type of set or something where people just meet me by word of mouth, they have to come see me because they've just heard that they have to go see Maria or whatever.
Mhm.
It's in their brain, all they hear is Marie. I get called Marie and Mariah
Mm.
almost exclusively. No one gets Maria.
Do you feel like a Maria now?
I feel like a Maria Small.
Mm.
I don't really feel like a
Wow.
Maria, but I feel like Maria Small is pretty reflective of myself.
Mhm.
But
Wow.
apparently it's Marie and Mariah to literally like everyone else. So I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. But
Yeah.
Yeah, Maria Small and Marie Small are both cool names.
Yeah.
I think Marie Small is a cool name too.
Marie Small's cool.
Marie Small is a pretty cool.
I like the name Marie, but can't really change it now. I feel like it's too late in the game.
Hmm.
But hey, people will know the name soon.
People will
they'll know
the
it's
name
Maria
yeah.
soon.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do
It's
you
not
feel
too
about your name, which is Christian?
It's
by
Christian.
the way,
It's
welcome to the
heavy.
podcast.
Oh wait! Holy shit! Yeah, this is our amazing
Yeah,
great
this is
Christian.
guys.
Finally introducing. Wow, we got carried away.
Yeah. But no, just explain your name though. I do want
As a kid, I didn't love my first name.
Okay.
Probably because Christian is like, obviously has religious ties to it.
Mhm.
And how people get about religion.
Yeah.
And I saw that early on. Like, I didn't want mine. If your name triggers someone to go like, oh, blankety blankety blank.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be about religion. That wasn't what I was like ready to like. I wasn't ready to stand on that hill as a kid.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't care about jokes and stuff like that. I just didn't want my name to be associated with this thing that I just didn't
Yeah, you have
carry
no control.
with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, I'm the second, so my dad's name is Christian.
Mm.
So it was like, I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot there.
Before I could even come into that name, there was already a lot existing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you?
Yeah.
I've always like wondered how kids feel being named after a parent. Like,
I thought it was cool. I think I was always kind of looking for the payoff.
yeah.
Right.
It's
Like, what do I
is this
get
gonna
out
be
of this?
worth something? Yeah.
Right.
It seems like you guys got a cool thing out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents,
And then you kind of missed out on a creative name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad talks about it he used to talk about it all the time. Like, you're my namesake. Like, I named you after myself.
Right.
Hmm.
And I was like, yeah, this is a big deal. But as I grew up, I was like, the fuck does that mean?
What does that
Right.
mean?
What does
Right.
that mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Sounds
feel that.
lazy to me.
That's what. Yeah.
Let's dig
But
deeper.
luckily your name is very cool. Like Christian
Pierce?
Pierce is pretty cool.
Thanks. I think my full name, I think Christian Pierce and Christian Alexander Pierce is like,
Ooh.
Oh, that's
I was just gonna ask what the A stood for. I like,
crazy.
did not know.
Oh, that is a great name.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
a great
I actually
name.
see why. I see why they did that.
Yeah.
I see they had to pass that on because that's hard.
Yeah.
That's
I was
tough.
supposed to be a girl. I was supposed to be named Alexandra. And I came out and
that
like,
would've been
boy,
cool.
audible real quick, Christian.
Wow. Yes. Just like
Whoa. Well, I guess that explains the lack of. They're like,
yeah.
great
That guy-
Christian.
yeah, literally.
Oh, shit.
That's the real fucking story. I'm gonna press my dad like, motherfucker, I put two and two together. You were just
just
caught
panicked.
off guard.
Yeah. You were shocked.
Yeah.
Holy
Christian
shit.
Junior.
Like, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
with that?
literally.
No, but that's a good like. So are you a junior?
No, I'm the second. Junior,
The
you have to have the same full name as somebody.
Yes,
So a lot of people, it's
exactly.
just their first and last name. Because
Yeah.
I have a middle name and my dad and I have different middle names. It
Gotcha.
disqualifies me from the junior.
It's
Some-
a,
I feel like
right.
the
Which is weird.
second's way cooler than junior, but you do
I think so,
get
too. I'm
go
so
through more
glad I'm not
hoops
a
to be a
junior.
junior. Like junior.
I'm so glad I'm not a
No
fucking junior.
offense.
Yeah. Also, if you're a junior, you get called junior.
Yeah, I would
which
hate that.
sucks.
I
I
would
like
hate
that's
that.
gotta suck,
Yeah.
man.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Come
it's like come here, junior. Oh yikes! Oh,
into your
God.
adulthood. Wow.
Yo, that's tough. It's always tough to see like 30-year-old. Yeah, it's tough into your adulthood. It's tough to see 30-year-olds like being called junior. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
you
Here
had
comes
to,
your identity.
yeah, you had to become okay with that.
Yeah.
Like you had to really become okay with that.
I do feel like Cap though. Like I
is
feel
hard.
like Cap feels like me.
Mm,
Like
Yeah.
if someone says Christian in a room full of people, I might not look.
Really?
Mm.
But if you say Cap, I'm gonna turn.
Huh.
It's a great nickname.
It's. I mean, it's great.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I
It's
feel
very-
like
it's
my
very
name was
fitting.
missing.
Really?
My name was missing.
I also have that thing where there's not nicknames for Maria, which is an issue I
Right.
have with it because I love little nicknames,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
there's just nothing for Maria.
If people had called me Zay when I was a child, I would have been a lot happier with it. But since no one called me Zay, everybody called
Yo,
me
Zay's
Zay.
hard. You do feel like a Zay.
You're absolutely a Zay.
You
We
are
call
a
you
Zay.
that.
Yeah, now,
100%.
yeah. Okay, I need to start to recognize that is part of me. Now.
I am Zay.
Do
I
you
am
feel
Zay.
like different? There was a trend on the internet going around like people showing off like different outfits of like
Mhm.
the different nicknames that they have. Like, do you feel different when you're
Mm,
referred to as Isaiah and Zay and like
Mm.
Christian and Cap? Like, is there like a different kind
Yeah.
of?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's like a professional thing usually.
Oh,
Because
Okay.
like when you if someone around me is using Christian a lot, it usually means like there's a barrier of like personal
Hmm.
connection.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm like in meetings or like if I'm being talked about for work, it's like Christian. And I like that. I like that those people can't call me Cap. You know, so like I do feel like more like Christian
that's
Pierce in
cool.
those rooms. Like
Yeah.
I'm presenting like
Right.
this brand, like this like bigger
Mhm.
thing than me.
Mm.
But if my friends call me Christian, I look at them like, what the fuck? What did you
Yeah,
just
like-
my government? How dare you? It's like
Yeah,
an
like,
insult if my close friends call me by my first name.
Wow. Oh damn.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So it's
I
like-
don't have that
but
much of a connection with it yet.
With Cap?
No, with Zay.
Oh, is
with,
that?
with mine,
Right,
with
right.
Zay and Isaiah. I just feel cool when people call me Zay. I'm just like, whoa, really?
You look like a Zay.
You do look like
Re-
a Zay.
okay.
What if
wow.
we call you? What if we call you Smalls, Maria?
That I have gotten that,
Smalls.
and you
You
know
don't
what?
like
mine.
Do you
It's
like it?
It-
It's not. It's not.
it's a term of endearment, but it's not like you know.
It's not big enough.
Right.
Is it because your
It's not big
height?
enough.
Yes, it's not. And I'm about to say, is it? And this is, and I say this respectfully, but
No,
you are 5'2",
too late.
right?
Great.
And I
What?
feel like you're 5'2", and I feel like because I'm like, is that part of the reason why you don't like?
yeah,
Smalls?
yeah. It's like it's already my last name.
Yeah.
I'm short. It's
Yeah.
like I feel like if I was just an average height or tall, Smalls would be like cute. It's
There's
like,
nothing wrong with
oh,
being
you know?
5'2" though. Like I did not say that jokingly. Like I
Right,
like I feel
right.
like that's port like. But you get what I'm saying. Like, but that's like you.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
just
like,
it doesn't
right.
more so like sure Maria suits me fine, but like being 5'2", I feel like doesn't suit me. I've made it suit me over
Yeah.
the years. I've like kind of adopted like okay, like
If you close your eyes, what height do you feel like?
I feel 5'6".
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I see that.
I can also see that.
I see that too.
Right, just like not tall, but like up there, you know, like
Did your height bother you?
yeah, it's
What?
just because it doesn't suit me.
This
you
is
know,
what- yeah,
like
yeah.
personality wise, like whenever I meet people for the first time after like having a parasocial type relationship, they say that I'm a lot shorter than they thought I was gonna
Yeah.
be. Like I think there's just an imbalance.
You know
Like,
what
it
that
doesn't
means,
match.
though, right? Well, at least in my experience, anytime there's something about you feel like doesn't suit you, like, oh, this isn't me, like this isn't like right, that usually means it's one of your superpowers. It usually means it's one of
Really?
your things that you need to step into.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's like your X factor. So it's like the fact that you think you have this energy that's not matching your height. Oh, that's your X factor actually. So you should
Yeah.
use that to your advantage. Like learn to hone it and be
Yeah.
like, people see me as this, but I bring this, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna get me to the next step. Because it's
Huh.
like you don't want to be someone who like has one of those things or we feel this big energy from you.
Yeah.
You also feel the difference, but you run from it instead of using it, right?
Mhm,
Use it to your advantage,
mhm.
especially in the industry we work in. Like
Sure.
it's a lot about perception. So when you
Yeah.
meet with people, I don't know, casting producers, whoever the fuck, collaborators, and like you know you have that ability, that special thing about you, like learn how to use it to get what you want or to get a message
Right.
Wow.
across as a
Yeah.
storyteller too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a great.
That's a really
this is great
important-
advice.
And being tall is
Damn.
not like crazy. I'm gonna be real. I'm not saying that it's like overrated.
Not that great. Be a dog.
I'm not gonna say it's overrated, but like you don't need to be tall to be cool. Like you're cool.
Despite
Not it's I don't feel
no,
like
not
it's
despite, but I'm
I don't-
cool.
You know, I just
Period.
feel like you are cool. Your essence is very cool. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Thank
And
you.
like your height is a portion of that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Like I don't
Yeah.
think that's a negative, but I can see how being called like Smalls would.
Yeah, it's
Be
literally.
like-
I don't take offense to it, but it's just
Right.
like a.
But
It's like,
why?
oh, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I like had these Demonia platforms that I wore, and they literally added like 6 actual inches to my height.
Mhm.
And walking around the world like that, I will say I didn't like it. Like however tall you guys are, like walking around, I feel so when I'm walking around down here and like everything is kind of like at eye level, I feel like in the world. And you guys are like
Yeah.
looking at it. Obviously, you wouldn't know
Well, I'm
anything
not
else.
that tall,
Like looking
but
at it,
Yeah.
I mean,
6'1". It's not that crazy, guys.
Six,
That's-
yeah, no,
that's-
6. Oh,
that's tall.
that's what I
That's
say
tall.
to people
That's
too.
tall.
I
You
don't
guys are
think
tall.
that that's tall. I feel like tall is 6'4" and above.
6'4" is
Yeah,
very
I
tall,
think
but
6'4"
6'1" is like tall.
Okay,
It's all about perspective, guys.
It's all about
Reference
perspective.
sure,
points.
absolutely.
Is there anything that you like going back to the whole like using a thing that feels like mismatch? Is there anything that you guys have felt that about that you've like?
Oh yeah, yeah. How many like list of insecurities? You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. Like insecurity, like identify that. Like that could be a superpower. Like that's
Yeah.
like the roadmap.
Wow.
You have to just like learn to just like flip it. Well, you warm me up. What's one of your insecurities?
Actually, I don't have an insecurity about being tall, but I did have an insecurity about like the size of different portions of my body because I'm very tall, right?
Hmm.
So when I was younger, I had like before I like grew into my body, I guess is what it's called. very long legs, which is just a portion of my height.
Lanky boy.
Very lanky, exactly. I was very very skinny, very
Me
very
too.
skinny and tall.
So you were one of the kids that grew first. You were
Yes.
yes. I was also one of those who was like always like one of the taller kids in class.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was annoying as shit, especially because people like want to be tall.
Mhm.
And I was like, and I enjoy being tall, like I enjoy my height, but that portion of it, I was like, I always feel so ugly. You know, like I always just like just hated the size
Yeah.
of my hands. I hated the size of my legs, you
that.
know. I just felt like my body just didn't fit me.
And also when you're a kid, like I feel like around other kids in the playground, wherever you're at, you only get like so much room for things people remember you by.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, oh, that's Maria. She reads books. It's like, that's Cole. Like, he's good at kickball. That's Isaiah. He's lanky.
He's too lanky.
He's
Yes.
the tall guy. You know, you only get one thing. I feel like
Yeah.
you don't want to be. Me too. Like I remember reading my yearbook one year. Everyone signs at the end. Like everyone passed it around, and I got home. I was reading everything, and like there was only like 3 things that were said over and over again by everyone in the class. And I remember being like, I hate this because this is how everyone sees me. And it was like there were compliments. It was like, you're so smart. You're so smart. And I was like, that's all they see me as.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just a smart guy. That's
Yep,
it. Like I feel
yep.
like I have so much to offer, you know. But it's like
Right.
when you just get like one thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a
And
kid's mind. you
yeah.
know?
I've always
And I never wanted to be like I also got like smart a lot, and I
Yep,
was like, I'm
same.
funny. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Same.
Or I want to be hot.
Same.
Like I want people to be
Yep.
like, oh, like I can't stop looking at you. Like I don't want to be
in the
smart.
yearbook.
Yeah, yes, that's where it
Writing
goes
it
Exactly
down.
what
What
I
do you
want.
mean?
Well, because there
Were
was
people writing that in other people's
Oh, in
yearbooks?
middle school, that's
Yeah.
where like people would like confess.
Really?
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
oh,
in
I've
front
always liked
reading
you.
everyone else.
They would take your yearbook,
Yeah.
they'd hand it back to you and say, "Read it later."
Yes. That I never got that.
Never happened to me.
That never happened to me. I never
Read it
received that
later.
message. But like there were
Yeah.
people who like and I won't name his name, but there is a very specific person who I'm thinking of who and no, it's not nothing but love to him. Like it's not his fault. But it's great that he had this experience.
Yeah.
But like the very like popular kid in school, he was a bit shorter than me, which means that his body looked a little more natural, a lot quicker than mine did,
Copy.
and he was very like, you know, he was like very like conventionally attractive. So everybody liked him, and that was the type of thing that people were writing in his yearbook. And then in my yearbook,
But he
they-
was like, "But I'm smart though." Like that's what he.
that's
was gonna
exactly
say,
what
though.
he was thinking. He
You
was
know
like,
what I
"Oh,
mean?
I have so many different like abilities because
Yeah.
he played all these instruments,
Yeah.
and you know he's also like very good at sports and stuff."
Wow.
But everybody was always like, "I like you, like I like you," and I'm sure he
What?
got really tired of that, you know. But
That's a real thing.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I get tired. I got tired of that my whole life. I'm sure all of us have been there at some point. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you always, whatever you get known for, it feels like you always like want to show people more of you.
yeah, yeah.
that.
Right.
It's what makes you, I guess, like try to be good at different things.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
try to go for different things. But
What are you thinking right now? You're cooking
Yeah, what
something.
do you
in
think?
there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was cooking a
You're
transition.
cooking
And
fast.
all I was thinking was like,
Transition.
well, Cap's good at many things. Let's talk about them. That was actually literally, but then I was like, is saying that out loud like so bad? Like that sounds so bad. But I mean, you are great at so many things.
Thank you. I
You
think we
know?
all are great at so many things.
We're great at so many
Yeah.
things, and in this industry that we're in, like now, kind of the expectation is that you're like a multi-hyphenate type, you know,
Yeah.
actor, writer, director, whatever,
very
everything.
Renaissance.
You think
You're
that's the
very
expectation?
Renaissance, man.
Thank
I
you.
think it's now the expectation. I saw someone say that like now you're expected to be able to do everything, and just claiming one is like the new, it's like in the next whatever decade is going to be
That's
like
so
sought
funny.
after, because you just because now it's
Yeah.
like specializing in that,
Yeah.
and you're assumed to just be able to do all the other things.
That's wild because like when I started coming up in this industry, it was like being a multi-hyphenate was a deterrent. Like it was, I can't tell you how hard it was. I used to not tell people. I still have, like when people ask me what I do,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a lottery of what I say. Because like it used to be a thing where you can't hyphenate. Don't say 3 things. Like maybe you can say actor, writer, or like actor,
Mhm.
director, but like it was so hard for people to digest you unless they had already seen you do everything. If they hadn't seen you do everything successfully
Yeah.
and they comprehended it, for them to digest you as a multi-hyphenate, it was like, too much. Give me the actor.
Right.
Give me the writer.
Yeah.
Give me this. Give me the editor. Like it's too much. Like it, and so I started to like definitely make myself smaller or just pick one Where I
Yeah.
told people, oh, I do this, knowing I could do everything.
Yeah.
But just so that I can get to the next step of whatever the fuck this process was without them weeding me out. Like, that guy's too much, you know?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's like because that's actually advice that I've gotten since I moved to Los Angeles, was that pick a thing and tell people you do that thing, and then eventually
Yeah.
reveal all the other shit.
Yeah, I
Do you
think
feel
that's
like that's a LA thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a human thing. I just gave someone the same advice to tell his son. My dad's fraternity brother was like, "Oh, show me his videos of his son. It sounds like in high school. Wicked talented kid. I don't know if he'll ever hear this, but like this kid was fucking singing, he was dancing, he was acting. I was like, Jesus Christ, this kid's very talented.
Yeah.
So I told his dad, I was like, listen, if he's gonna come to LA and like try to make it happen,
Yeah.
tell him to pick one thing to like really put forward as like this is who he is, but never stop honing the other things.
Yeah.
Like never stop it, but just tell people this, just because it'll be easier for someone to pass along the information if someone's like, oh, it's Isaiah, he does this, right?
Yeah.
It's just easier for you to get forward like seamlessly in people's word of mouth if they can
Yeah.
describe you.
It's
either.
like what we were just talking about, the playground. Like people
Yeah,
got
exactly,
one thing.
exactly.
It's like,
Damn.
they got
Yeah,
one thing.
exactly.
Yeah, everybody always has one, and they only remember you for one thing.
Yeah.
Damn, that is a human thing.
You need an elevator pitch for yourself. Like this is the nature of storytelling, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like if someone's like, "How was that movie? What's it about?" You can't be like, "Well, there's this guy and this girl." It's like this guy and this girl break up and then they get in a car accident. That's clearly one part of a movie.
Right.
Right.
But you need to get someone in and out because they're gonna stop listening in 5 seconds. So like,
Yeah.
That's so interesting. How did you get into the what was the beginnings for you in terms of getting into this industry? Because I feel like you've done. I know you as you were a writer and you're an actor on Life According to Jimmy. What did you do? Like, was that the first thing that really like brought you into it?
no, I mean, well, the first thing I think we all do is we're fans, right? We just watch a bunch of movies and TV. So I grew up watching everything
Yeah.
on TV and movies, and grew up making sketches with my friends too, like with the home camera. And then I had like the camera phone. I was always like filming the sketches we did in high school like, on my phone.
Yeah.
And putting them on YouTube in the early days. And I got to college, I met Jimmy. We were pledging the same fraternity. We both wanted to do the same thing. We started making videos together, made a channel. You know, we wrote, acted, directed everything ourselves. And yeah, that was like the first, I guess, like start to like where my career is now. But I used to PA. My first PA job, I was 14. I was being on like a pilot, yeah. And then when I was 17, I started PAing again. I used to PA on reality shows, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and Bachelor Pad.
Wow.
Whoa, that's
Wow. What was
crazy.
that like?
Yeah.
Were you like,
You know, it's PA work, so it's like long ass days and like
Yeah.
busy and like, oh, it's my first time like, you know, consecutively. I'm on set every day with these people, and I'm probably the youngest person here, and
Yeah.
so it was a lot, you know. But I was a hustler, so I just like did my thing, and it was
Yeah.
cool being exposed to things. But you're so far removed in some instances, depending on what kind of PA you are.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so like I was never like there when they were rolling. I was always the production. I was like the Bachelor house where they have everything is like kind of like a compound. There's like the house you see on TV, like where they give the roses and stuff, and that's like, and then down the hill on the same property is like the production office where everything happens. So everything's all under the same property.
Wow.
Okay.
So I was just always like down the hill, which is a walk, you know, from everything else. So it was just like a lot of cleaning up and driving people and doing PA stuff. But then one day, on my second year PAing, I was back home for my first year in college, and I'm in the control room picking up trash. And they're like, all right, they're doing a camera test. Like, all right, go to camera A, go to camera B, go to camera C, go to camera C. I'm just hearing this as I'm picking up trash on the floor.
Yeah.
And like, where's camera C? And like, oh, and something happened. He's not gonna be here for like another like 2 hours. And the director was like, yo, Christian, hop on that camera real quick.
Wow.
And he asked the tech, is it cool if he does this? Like the main DP guy, he's like, yeah, it's fine, because these were the control, like the remote control cameras. Like, you know when you see spy cameras in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, 8 to 12 cameras you're controlling with like, almost like a video game joystick setup, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So he's like, called me over 5 minutes, taught me real quick, and then boom. So now I was a part of like the camera test day. And then the guy after that day was like, hey, we actually need one more camera, like is an AC in the lineup, like you can want the job. And I was like, yeah, I went from being a PA to an AC like in the same day.
Wow.
So I went upstairs, my boss, so I was like, go upstairs and pick up trash in the production or in the, whatever, the producer's room. I come back down to the office like, hey, I'm your boss now. He was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
What the fuck?
Wow.
How did you get that job? Yeah. What
So
did they film?
one of the directors is one of my mentors.
Oh, okay.
There's like they have like it's a big crew, a big rotating thing, and people are in and out. You never know who you're gonna see at the same time.
Yeah.
But one of them is one of my mentors, and he's like, the least I can do is like get you an interview for a PA job, and I just did it, and
Wow.
then yeah.
Damn,
Wow.
that is so cool.
Yeah.
I feel like this city moves so differently because you're from Los Angeles,
Mhm.
right?
I was born in Chicago when I moved here when I was 8, so I grew up in LA.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, damn, have you like made your way back to Chicago?
I was just there in August, yeah.
Wow,
Mhm.
how's it like being back there? How often did you go back in between?
I went back a lot as a kid, like summers and stuff like that. My mom's family's still there.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
And I love Chicago. There's so
Yeah.
much heart in that city. I fucking love that
Chicago's
city. You guys
a
been?
beautiful
Yeah.
yes.
It's so much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chicago's amazing.
And the past several times I've gone back, it's been really great because I get noticed a lot, and
Wow.
like that feels
Really?
good because it's like
Wow.
technically my hometown.
Yeah.
And like I think
Oh,
people out
that's
there
sweet.
are less used to seeing talent like us, you know.
Yeah.
So when I go, I get a lot of love. Like, I was there filming in August, and like we had to like cut takes. So people were driving by, like, "Yo, Christian," out the window, and I was like, "This is fucking
Aw,
cool."
That's
so cool.
incredible to be known in
It
your
feels way better in
hometown.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. So you made your way here when you were 8, and then you were already working here within 5 years. Like 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always kind
5,
of
6
worked.
years.
I've always like
Damn.
done something to make my own money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
What
was
were
a
you-
DJ, and then I only PA'd like a couple times when I was 14. The next time I PA'd, it was like 17, like regularly.
Wow.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Damn.
Mhm.
Okay. And then when did you start doing Life According to Jimmy?
First year college.
First year of
Well,
college.
it wasn't called that first. We started calling it that our second year of college, our sophomore year. Like we
Okay.
named it. But Jimmy and I made our first video our second semester, the first year of college, and then we went home that summer. We're both from LA. Like, oh, we're from LA. We would just make sketches here.
Yeah.
You know, we
Mhm.
made like a handful our first summer back.
Damn.
They did well. One of them
Yeah.
spawned we made this sketch called "How to Start a Bro Fight" our first summer after freshman year, which one day became the River Rosa Simi Valley, which is like a show we made together with
Wow.
Facebook.
Mhm.
So-
yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
When did you know that it was a thing? Like y'all had a thing?
Pretty instantly.
You really?
Like the first time we linked up to write, it was like boom, boom, boom. It was like we just like had a good rhythm to it. I'm like, oh, this is nice. And then I think we took a break from working together for like a short period of time. And then that's when you really realize like how good something is. Like you know, when like you miss it for a second.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got back together, once again, I was like boom, boom, boom. We just fire off. Like we're very quick. We write very quickly compared to like other people because
Oh,
we're always like on similar pages.
that's
Oh,
incredible.
that's really fortunate.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah. That type of relationship doesn't happen with like
Yeah.
everybody. And
I've learned, yeah.
it's very good to be able to find that like quickly, you know, especially like when you're younger, like first year of college.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
So then you started doing life according to Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Then that takes off eventually.
We start making
Um,
videos in college. It takes off. We're doing sketches every week.
Yeah.
And you guys know how it goes. Like we're doing every process of it just us two. So it's a fucking grind.
Oof.
And I was still like Jimmy had dropped out of school our second year, but he was still there, like, you know, living with guys in our fraternity and like
Yeah.
still doing the college thing. I was very much still in school trying to get a degree. So it was like
What did-
that.
what did you
plus making these
graduate in?
videos. What degree?
Yeah.
Creative writing and Latin American studies.
Oh
Ooh.
shit! Oh
Okay.
wow! Or what are you
something.
planning on doing anything with the Latin American studies at any point?
No.
Okay.
If I ever try to run for office in Guatemala.
That's cool. What do you study in Latin American studies?
I mean, I had already taken so much Spanish that like that's why my counselor was like, "You should just do this. Like it'd be so
Ah.
easy." And,
Yeah,
like,
like,
I had
just
some
have it
other
on there.
adjacent classes, but a lot of like Latin American politics,
Gotcha.
culture stuff. I don't know. I
Yes.
picked whatever seemed the easiest because I was fucking shooting so much
Yeah.
and editing and other shit. I was like, I gotta just pick whatever's the easiest to get through this shit.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
U of A, Arizona, University of Arizona.
Oh shit! Oh, you
Tucson.
were like around.
Mm-hmm.
How was
Wow.
University of Arizona?
Sick.
It's sick.
It's
It's a
great.
beautiful place.
Yeah.
Arizona's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The people, the culture there is tough. The culture.
I'm about to
there is-
say, I
yeah.
feel like the culture in Arizona is terrible.
It's like the
right?
most southern western state there
Yeah.
is.
Oh.
It's like
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy.
like they want to be Texas so bad
Oh.
that it's like almost crazier.
Yeah,
That's
it's a weird place. It's a weird place culturally. I've only been to Flagstaff,
Mhm.
which is northern Arizona.
I haven't been to Flagstaff, but yeah, that's northern. That's where NAU is at.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
beautiful. I
Mhm.
mean, like nature wise, Arizona's
Mhm.
probably like one of the most like beautiful states that I've been to.
Yeah, there's some really. I fell in love with like desert foliage, like desert, like but the biome, the beauty that there is in the desert. Oh, I
Yeah,
fell
you
in
love the desert, don't you?
I fuck with the
There's a
desert.
special
heavy.
beauty there.
I
I
fuck
didn't,
with the desert. I fuck with like mountains.
yeah, same.
just-
I didn't fuck with the desert. Like my first 2 years there, I was like, okay, we're in the desert, like it's cool, like
Right.
whatever. Yeah, cacti,
Yeah.
But then I took a fucking ecology class like my junior or senior year,
Oh.
and it was like mostly like in the field, and I just was like, I learned so much, and it completely flipped my perspective. And I was like, this shit is
Mm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then like since then I've learned like about like the energy that exists like in certain deserts. Like there's some like beautiful like just there's some like mystical places in Arizona that people go to like do
Wow.
ceremonies and stuff.
Damn. Oh, I need to talk to you separately.
They say if you roll through Sedona, like you can like feel it in your body, like in certain areas. Like it's like a
I
vibration.
need that experience.
Wow.
I need that experience.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
be
not a big
fucking
desert
crazy.
person, but
What's
you know,
your
I'm
favorite
open
like
to
biome?
the like woods.
You like the woods, so you would love South Carolina. I hate
Really?
the woods because that's where I grew up. I grew up like
Oh.
in forests, like deep forest. I mean, I
What?
grew up in the Low Country, was so technically like beaches.
You hate all woods or just like your home woods? Like
I
just
hate my home woods. I hate
Okay.
flat woods. That's why I really like hills, and I
Huh.
like hills and I like mountains. I love like the desert type, like just like different looks. But when you're in a flat forest, kind of like, I mean, that's kind of what. No, I guess Nebraska is really more of grasslands.
Wait, what's the difference between woods and forest?
I don't know if there is much of a difference.
Damn, we don't even
Are
know.
they
I have
just
no
I
idea.
thought they were just synonyms.
I think they were just. I don't think
there
is
must
much
be
of
a difference.
There must
in
be?
terms of like maybe like space
Yeah.
it takes up.
Woods sounds like forest, but like doesn't shave or like bathe every day.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Woods
Woods
seems
is
more
forest, bathe once a week.
naturally.
Mhm,
More
mhm,
like what
mhm.
forest feels more well kept.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
actually positive what the difference is, but when I'm driving on an interstate in California, I love driving because I can look out,
Mhm.
I can see the city, I
love
can see the
mountains,
mountains,
yeah.
I can see all of that.
Mhm.
When you're driving on an interstate in South Carolina, you look to your right, there are large trees. You look to your left, there are large trees. In front of you, there are very large trees. And behind you, there are very large trees. So all you see is the road.
Mhm.
So driving for 30 minutes in South Carolina immediately makes you very tired because you're only seeing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, but what about if I was there? I might be like, look at all these trees. Like I might.
Yeah,
fuck with it,
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be cool, like focus in on the road.
Absolutely. And you
Huh.
might be there's a thing that
Wow.
I used to do when I was a kid where I used to like look out the window and I would see a tree pass. I would stare directly at one tree, focus on that tree until it passed, and then like
Next
focus
one?
on another one and like do that. You can't really
You
do
were
that
bored
here.
as hell.
I was bored as fuck,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah, what do you do in the back? I guess I did the same shit too.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Yeah.
your happy place, Maria, to like just go escape and be like a forest?
Yeah, a forest, and
Mm,
I
okay, I get
actively
that.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Forest
know,
is sick.
it truly is like a reset for me. Is that the desert for you guys?
It can be.
I think it's the mountains for me.
I can reset a lot of places. I think I could reset in the forest for sure. I was like in the redwood forest in Mendocino like several months ago, and I was like,
That
oh,
would be,
so
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
I like a forest that's in like like the Angeles National Forest is dope.
Yeah, where
'cause
we went
it's-
for my birthday was
Yeah,
really
because
cool.
it's mountains. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's or if it's a forest like mixed in hills or something like that, I can do that.
Yeah.
But if it's a flatland forest,
Yeah,
I'm just
sure.
like this is nothing to me. You know, like just because I've just seen it. You know, and I've lived in South Carolina. You live in it. You're living like in like sections. I like to be able to see the place that I'm in
Yeah.
fully, which is why I loved Arizona. I loved the Southwest because you can like you're driving on the interstate and you go up like a rock and then you can look down and you can see the
Hmm.
town that you're about to
That's
drive
cool,
into.
yeah.
I'm like,
Nice.
that's my shit.
Desert Zay.
Yeah,
Desert Zay.
fucking Desert Zay, man.
He's different.
I'm different. Desert Zay is different. I feel like later in life I'll probably like if I'm not living in California, then I'll probably live in
Desert.
like the.
Have you been to
deserts.
Sedona before?
I haven't been to Sedona.
I've been to Sedona, but I want to go to Sedona. But I've spent time in other parts of Arizona. But people say Sedona is like where if you want to go do like a nice
Sure.
mushroom trip
Yep.
and just
Really?
fucking reset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than Joshua Tree?
Yeah. Joshua Tree's great.
I've heard
I've
Joshua
done
Tree.
mushrooms in Joshua Tree. It's
And
great.
we've heard it's a life-changing experience.
What about it is life changing?
That it like
I feel like
has helped people work through
Yeah, it's
things
just like
that like, they were
Mushrooms
stuck
mushrooms in
on.
Joshua Tree or just
mushrooms,
Joshua
no,
Tree?
mushrooms and
Mushrooms.
Joshua Tree.
Yeah, I think mushrooms are gonna help you make a shift anywhere if you do the right amount
Hmm.
and you have the right mindset. Honestly,
Yeah,
I've had like big mindset shifts like in my house by myself doing mushrooms.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Damn.
just gotta do it. a
I did
certain amount.
mushrooms at your birthday,
Yes.
and
Smoothies.
it was the
Fire.
mushroom smoothies.
How was
And
that?
it was incredible.
Oh,
It was
wow.
it was incredible. And I'm like I'm wary of doing it again because I've only done mushrooms and had amazing experiences.
So why are you worried of doing it again?
Because I smoke a ton of weed and I'm
Same.
able to do that whenever.
Yeah.
I feel like with shrooms you kind of need to be in the right mindset beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise it's gonna like lead, and you can't, or at least maybe I just don't know. I'm not confident in doing it alone yet.
Right.
And that's when I do most of my drugs.
Mhm.
That's when I'm alone, you know? So
It's just a comfort level. It's like a
Yeah.
control thing and a comfort level. Like it's the same with smoking weed. Like there was definitely a point when you first started smoking, you were like, "Oh no, I can't
I
smoke
can't
right
do
now."
this a lot.
I'm in that right headset. You know, same
That's
thing with
real.
mushrooms. You gotta do more of them to just get used to it.
You can just try it.
Yeah, I recommend like my first time doing shrooms. My first 3 times, I did a full eighth,
Mm.
and like I know that amounts not for everybody, I guess, but I definitely, if you're into mushrooms and you think you might want that kind of experience, I definitely recommend trying an amount around there because that's when like you have a fucking experience and you're totally fine. You can like
Yeah.
just kick it. You know?
It's very chill.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to
Wow.
be chill. I was worried that I was gonna be seeing a whole bunch of shit,
Mhm.
and that's frightening to me. Like,
no,
I-
you don't see, you don't hallucinate.
don't
You
see
feel things
shit.
like your thoughts, your mind goes places, but like you don't like nothing happens in reality that isn't like happening.
I was just
you know?
very
Mm.
grateful.
Unless you do a bunch.
Yeah,
probably.
unless you do a
Like,
bunch.
Yeah.
I was just very grateful. Like I
Nice.
remember, like because
Love
we were
that.
playing kickball, and like I was looking
Yeah.
at the trees, and the trees like start to swirl like they do in Midsummer, but it was very comforting. And I was like, nature is just dope, man. Like
Mhm.
nature is just fantastic. Like being out here, it's
It
just
really
beautiful.
is.
And I'm just like looking around. I'm like, this community is just incredible. And I'm like, and that was when I realized that I was gone, and I was like, oh fuck.
When
this
you
is
start
what
thinking about the
mushrooms-
community, you know you're
Yeah, once you start thinking about the community,
like,
it's over.
yeah.
You're done.
That's the checkpoint. All right.
I was like, damn, this shit is just, this is beautiful.
Nice.
I'm like, this shit is just like, life is just beautiful. I just felt grateful. I just felt incredibly like happy. Like it was just a great
Yeah, they're
experience.
definitely uppers, like definitely euphoric.
Yeah.
I think with most like you know, perspective altering and substances, like it's a thing about control, like how good of a time you have usually. Like, people who have a bad trip, in my experience that I've only seen 1 or 2 people have like bad trips.
Yeah.
They were like a little bit nervous and they were trying to almost like fight the trip as it came. You know,
Yes.
they're trying to like maintain control. Like you have to really surrender to the thing.
Right.
And like let it just take over you.
That's what I
Of
learned
course,
about
yeah.
weed. That's what I learned about weed too.
Mhm.
When
Same with weed, yeah.
As soon as you start being like, oh, I'm getting high. Oh no, I need to like not like, because I always trying to get you to smoke weed.
You don't
You're
smoke
always
weed,
like-
never?
I do. I have, and like it's not like something I don't do.
Yeah.
But every time Isaiah offers it to me, I'd say I'm just gonna get weird.
And I'm always
Sounds like you don't smoke weed to me.
I'm like, you gotta try. I'm like, as long as it's not weird. I'm trying to explain to her she's not getting weird. You're
Yeah,
just
but that's the
getting
control
high.
thing.
Yeah, it definitely is the control thing because like
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
going to a restaurant
Yeah.
and like we were with someone that we had just kind of like hung out with once.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so many like this is a new part of town kind of also, so it's like I
Yeah.
just like in all these different new things, it's like now I'm just gonna be acting weird on top of it. It's like
Right.
come on.
Mm.
Yeah, you gotta let go. You
I
gotta-
know.
Yeah.
You gotta just let it be what it is.
I know.
Because what you're experiencing isn't weird. Like it's
Yeah.
it's joyful.
And also, like, you gotta let go what you think someone else's perception of you might be.
Right.
Like, that's because that's the only way you can be weird. Is like compare it to what you think somebody else thinks you should be acting
Right.
like. Right?
Yeah.
Like, people are gonna think I'm weird. They're gonna think this is a thing. It's like you gotta like go with that. You don't have to. You can also just not smoke.
Right.
But, like,
Yeah, you can also just
But-
not
but like,
smoke.
yeah. I feel like anxiety. Whenever I'm anxious, I'm usually like trying to be somewhere else than I am in this present moment. I'm like thinking about something else in the future or something in the past. I'm trying to be in 2 time periods at once, and that creates anxiety for me.
That's so
You know,
real.
and
That
so
is
when
a
I'm-
great like a great description of anxiety.
This is what it feels
Yeah.
like for me.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
so same thing when,
very
when
accurate.
I'm faded and like if I get a call like, oh fuck, I have to do this thing. It's like, hold on, let me
Yeah.
just forget about that thing, what it could be. Let me just, all right, I'm just here. Okay, then it just fades away.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
saw this thing that was like depression's being stuck in the past, anxiety's being stuck in the future.
That's very
Wow. I wonder
accurate.
if that's true. Depression stuck in the past.
Depression, I definitely feel like it's stuck in the past. It's like it's like a glorification of the past, rather.
Mm.
It's like when you're depressed, I feel like you're looking back at times where you probably really weren't super happy, but you're looking at it like, damn, that was not this, and this sucks.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Or
it
like
just
looking
feels
back
better.
at past events and like just viewing them in a negative light. It's like all about things that have happened and like, okay,
Mm.
damn, like
Oh
this.
yeah, even
like,
the
no-
opposite. Yeah,
yeah.
like of looking at it negatively.
Yeah.
Like,
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you guys have, how long have you been doing TikTok and just like videos?
I've been
and
doing
content?
TikTok since late 2020.
Maria, same thing.
No, I just started doing the sketches
Well,
like
you're doing it now.
7 months
You're doing it now.
ago,
7 or 8 months
7
ago
or
now.
8 months ago
Yep.
with them. So
Well, now that you
yeah.
guys are either public figures or becoming more public with like your work,
Yeah.
how have like your people from your past reacted to it? Has it all been good?
It's all been good for me.
Any weird reach out to people you haven't heard from in a while?
Oh,
a ton,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
already,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. I kind of figured that was gonna come, and I just never care. Like, and I feel like actually it's funny because I feel like they should have known that wasn't gonna work with me
What wasn't gonna work?
reaching out to me if we didn't talk.
Mm.
Like back in the day, like I feel like you should have got that sense back then because it's very hard to get me out to talk in the first place, you know? So it's like, why did you think if we didn't speak for years beforehand and we didn't have a connection for years beforehand, why do you think reaching out to me on Instagram after I've become famous, clearly wanting something, did you think that was going to work?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Also, like, why are you reaching out? Because I'm not very, like having a million followers on
Yeah,
TikTok
I think
is
in
very
places like
common.
Nebraska and South Carolina, that those numbers are
Yeah.
like that is famous to them,
For
you know,
sure.
and like even like I don't actually have my own presence, but like I'm just kind of like very closely associated, and that is like a big deal for everyone back home. Like they think it's very.
I
cool.
mean, yeah, you're in like a lot of.
No, I feel like you have a
viral
presence now.
You have
for
an
sure.
incredible presence. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like very popular on the internet.
Thanks, yeah, whatever it is, they're the people back home in Nebraska who have never spoken to me or called me the wrong name at graduation. You know,
How did
They're coming out
you
the
feel
woodworks.
about getting those messages?
it's annoying. You know,
Why?
Cause I like don't understand why they're doing it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I like actually like that's like not like sarcastic. Like I just literally
I don't
don't
get
understand
it.
like why they're doing it. Like what do they want,
they want?
from it?
They just want to touch it, like
Yeah.
the intangible of like you being this thing or being you being this thing that people can talk about. Like Maria is doing this or has done this. Like they want to just like touch that to say like that's my perspective on a lot
Yeah.
of things. Like they can
It's
say,
about
"Oh,
it's
yeah,
about
talk to
them.
her."
Yeah. I think that's why it's so annoying because
Yeah,
it's like
for
about
sure.
them.
It's not
It's
about
like
you.
you're not even like really you're not asking me how I am.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there were times when I was like I've always been talking about moving to LA, talking about doing this stuff, all this, and there was like a lot of people were very supportive, in their in the hopes that I would, go out and do big things, but like there were a lot of judgment, obviously, as there always is, and
Yeah.
it's like I've been talking about it for so long, and like now I'm just like sort of kind of even like starting to make moves, and all of a sudden it's like a 180 mentality. Like now it's not
like, oh, I've
cringe. Now
always
it's not
believed in
cringe.
you.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, like yeah, I always believed in you. Like always knew. It's
Right.
like no, you
No,
were
you
literally
didn't.
you didn't.
Yeah.
You thought it was cringe, and you like were mean to me.
I never really received any like negative. Like I told people that I was moving to Los Angeles, or even when I like told people that I was starting to do TikTok before it took off. Everybody was like, okay, good, like that's great, like good luck with that. Like I wish you the best. So I've never really like I've
No
never
haters?
Not really. No, I mean if they were, I just didn't recognize that they were. Like I just was like, I don't know.
I feel like you seem a little more closed off to like your door seems a little more closed to people entering, and that like maybe because like you have a more approachable energy, Maria, people think that they can like get to you a little easier. Whereas I feel like you kind of seem like you're more in your own world a little bit. Where it's
Yeah.
like you might not read that message.
Yeah,
They have
exactly.
less of a chance of even getting through.
If
Yeah.
somebody was saying something, I certainly didn't recognize. I was
Yeah.
certainly like, well, I'm just telling you what I'm doing because you
Mhm.
asked,
Mhm.
like not because like I need your opinion on it or care, you know.
So that reminds me that some like literally a week ago I had like posted about the live show or whatever, and someone who I literally met one time like 2.5 years ago, and he has never spoken to me since, and I like since unfollowed because I just literally we weren't like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a weird. He sent me the post and was like, oh my god, like so cool, like this, like you're so cool, whatever. But and then like 2 minutes later was like, oh my god, wait, you unfollowed me, like literally,
Whoa.
like trying not to cry right now, like what?
Right, yeah,
What?
yeah,
Like
like,
you're
alright.
what? Like why? What is the mentality to like bring up that I unfollowed you?
Yeah.
Right.
And why do you care about it? Like, do
Yeah.
you care about being followed by someone who just like lives in LA? Like, what is the vibe?
they care.
That's like you want. That's what you were kind of talking about. Like, they just want to be like adjacent to
Mhm.
people out here doing stuff.
Yeah,
It's like
a
just
cool thing to
just
bring
go
up to
do stuff.
friends.
I don't know.
It's
It's,
a cool thing to bring
weird.
up to friends. Like, oh, I
Yeah,
have this friend.
exactly. They want to be able to say that. To
They
other
follow
people,
me,
it's
like-
with
Yeah.
themselves, whoever. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your experience in that?
It's I've had a lot of
Right,
experiences.
because you're a blue check.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're a blue check.
Blue check.
People take those unfollows
Yeah.
more seriously.
Yeah, they do. I've had some really negative experiences. I'm trying to
Really?
think of a way to go around without speaking too specifically.
Yeah.
I've had some great ones, obviously. You know, I've had a lot of support from people I grew up with. I'm still very active, like with like my friends from high school, like Harp and Reg. We've been friends since high school.
Yeah.
That's
like
crazy.
since ninth grade. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy.
Yeah.
So like,
Insane.
I still hang out with my friends like from the valley. Like, you know, whenever I get the chance to, I still go to the valley and kick it. You know, so I see people around here and there. I've also made a lot of content about the valley. You know, so like, but outside of the praise, yeah, I've gotten like my fair share of negative outreach, like someone going out of their way to like
Really?
put hate on me. Yeah, for a
Oh.
lot.
Was it like you changed up type thing or what?
I've gotten you changed up a
Mhm.
bunch.
You're
I've
right.
gotten like who do you think you are to like not put the value on your back, like to make jokes about this place. Like, come on. And
Get
then
over it. Come on.
I
Oh
know.
my god.
Okay.
That is insane.
yeah,
That's insane.
I've gotten a lot of like I've gotten it from people very close to me, which is really tough.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they still close to you?
man.
It's like, you know, when someone like hits that level of like family with you, like they're always gonna be family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just family who you're not seeing eye to eye with. You
Yeah.
know, you have that with your real blood family too.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
that uncle, that aunt, that cousin. You're just like, oh, we're not really like friends, but like they're still my fucking brother or cousin.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a few of those. You know,
Oh man,
people have
that's
like,
tough.
have like over the years been like, either like shit on me, like your
Yeah.
shit sucks, or
Yeah.
like you're not that good, like you're not that good of a person, like terrible things. I've also had people use me as like a punching bag kind of like
Really?
because and I was talking to Jim the other day about this because like we've both gotten some of this. I've gotten a lot more though. I think because social media is a thing where everybody can see, you know, it's free range. I mean, you know, whatever you put up there, even though what we do is a lot of work and like presenting ourselves as like a brand, like a product, that's hard for people to rationalize if they don't have that split. If they just use social media for themselves, this is their life, this is what they do, this is very real. It's hard for them to draw that same split when they look at artwork, at least in my experience. So
Yeah.
like, if you're not having a great day or a great week or a great year, and then you go on Instagram and you see us making sketches and having fun, and you see a bunch of 200 people being like, this is so funny, this is hilarious,
Yeah.
that might make you feel shitty about your day, shittier.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, but it might, you
Right.
know? And I've been the subject of a lot of people's like, you know, fuck you, my life is bad, but fuck you, it's because of you. Like putting it on me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shitty.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It does
That
suck.
sucks.
Especially get it from someone you know. Because like, you're like, oh, message from someone I know. I'm going to
Yeah.
open this. And then it's like, like
Yeah.
all this bad stuff.
what
Yeah.
do you, I can't
I feel like
even
people get more
rationalize
emboldened
that.
like the more followers and everything you have because it just seems more like you're just sending a message to a famous person, whatever, and they
Yeah.
might not read it, but it's literally it's still you. Like there's not that many DM requests, you know. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna see it.
I can't imagine
That's-
typing out
that's
a long
insane.
message, shitting on
Oh,
somebody,
man.
That's
especially
insane.
someone that you know.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I can't imagine spending that time doing.
I
it.
don't know what would piss me off that much.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, kind of, I'm
do
like,
that.
what?
Do.
What led? What do you think led? I mean, but I guess just their life is just
Yeah. I mean, like, you know,
sucks.
mental health is
It's
like
projecting.
It's a
Yeah.
projecting. We all have our
Yeah.
days. I think what's fucked up about it, it's like one thing about me is I'm very like warm and open to like people in my life. Like whatever you need, like I'm there for you. Call me anytime you need something. You guys, same thing. Come here at 4 a.m. Like I need this. I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean? And like
really
I
fun.
show a lot of love and support to people in my circle, and that's been like used against me now. It's like because I'm always like I will always answer that call, because I will always open that message, because I will always try to be there for people. They know they have that doorway, and then I'll get some shit sometimes. it sucks.
And it sucks because you can't always be there for everybody. So
Right.
I'm sure somebody's like probably been like,
Exactly.
like, oh, like you said you'd be here, and now where are you at?
Literally those messages.
Well, it's
Right.
like, bro,
That's not your job.
that's not my job. You know what I'm
Extremely
saying?
kind of you to do it, but it's not your
E-
obligation.
Exactly. You know, like there's only so much that you can do as a person.
Mhm.
There's only so much that is within your realm of like a bit like as great as that is to be able to have somebody to call at 4 a.m., you shouldn't have to wake up at 4 a.m. to check your messages to make sure everyone in your
Yeah.
life is good.
Or
You
if I
know?
do wake up at 4 a.m. and I drive to come see you, and then I pull up and you're like, fuck you.
Fuck, yeah.
It's like, oh, that's not fair.
Right.
You just
Yeah.
like use this thing against me.
Yeah, like how
Yeah.
does
A lot of people wouldn't have answered the phone. It's
Right.
4 a.m. You know?
that's
But,
insane.
yeah.
That's
so
insane,
whenever
man.
I go, like, I mean, every now and then I'll like see psychics or run into psychics, people with that power, and like some of them are obviously not reliable.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, let's say the 10 psychics I've seen or had sessions with, there's like a few things all of them say,
Mhm.
and one of them is like, they always say you really love the people around. There's a lot of people around you. Like some of those people have a really bad eye for you. Like watch out. All of them have said that. Every single one.
Oh.
I'm like, God damn! I wish you guys would stop saying that.
Right.
The
Name
last guy
names or
said
stop
that,
saying
yeah.
it. Like,
Right,
Name
like,
names
oh,
so I can cut them out or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
name names. Name
Because
names.
now I'm
like,
just like on edge. Who is
Yeah.
it?
like who is
Yeah,
that?
I'm all same.
is it?
But then I kind of know who it is at the same time, and I still love them.
That's what I was gonna
It's so
say.
fucked up.
I was gonna say I feel like you do have like you gotta have like an intuition of like who that is.
I know.
You
I know. My
But what do
fatal-
you do?
I'm fucking it up because what I'm trying to do is like keep trying to like love them out of it. Because I'm like, look, if you have this thing about you that like you put this on me, like that's something in you, right? All right, that's human. I get that. I get envy. I get jealousy. I
Yeah.
get those feelings. I'm gonna try my best now I feel like with this responsibility to like love you through this and like try to help you heal this. But it's only so many hours in a day, and like
Yeah.
that's when I get hit with like the right, like where are you now? This kind of thing. So
Mhm.
what I do is I try my best, but take the hits.
Mm.
Some of these people have got to soul search. Like,
That's
do
tough,
shrooms,
man.
go to the woods.
I know.
You know, like they've got to.
That's
out.
tough, man. That's tough. I have been in like a very similar
Yeah.
situation with my family, like with very close family, and there's only so much you can take, man.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can take,
Yeah.
and like, I also was like, you know, if I love them hard enough,
Yeah.
it'll get out of it. But I think at some point
It
you
doesn't
have
work
to.
like that.
It doesn't
Yeah,
work
it
like
literally
that.
That's like that's base, and I realized that it's like, well, hold on, my love isn't therapy. Like it's not like
Right.
the work someone needs to do on themselves. Like I
Yeah.
can only do so much. I
Exactly.
can soften them. I can help them open up, but I can't do the rewiring.
Exactly.
right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You got to know when it's time to let it go.
I know. I guess I got to figure that out.
Yeah.
I know. Relationships too. Like I got to stop trying to like love people through their problems and just be like, I'll see you later.
Yeah,
hard
like
for me.
oh, this is well, cool. So some people actually need to not have someone in their
Yeah.
life to be able to make that change.
Ugh, bruh, I know.
You know, which
Yeah.
sucks. Which sucks because you always want to be that person to be
Yeah.
able to
Mhm.
like help you through something.
Yeah, I don't ever want to like. I don't have like a savior complex. I don't give a fuck about like saving somebody. I just like
Yeah.
love people.
just
When I
love
love
'em
somebody,
really
like I
hard.
want to help you. Like if I know
Yeah.
how, you know. What I mean?
Right. But sometimes the best thing
It's
is
balancing.
taking it away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And being like, I can't do this for you.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to be the one to do this. And like, I love you enough to let you go. Like literally. You know, like
Yeah.
and that sounds like such like old like cliche movie shit.
Nah, it's
but it's real as fuck. Like
Yeah.
you got it's the hard thing to do, which is why it's the most loving thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, because with the people that you love, you're willing to do the difficult things. You're willing to do the tough things.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier to just kind of stay in somebody's life, but then, you know, just kind of vibe with them for like
Yeah.
ride with them through it. But what they really need is for you to be like, peace.
Yeah.
I'm gone if you don't fix this.
Yeah, it's
You
like if
know?
someone's drowning, you jump in the water to save them. Like they might try to lean on you, lean on each other. You're both gonna drown. Whereas if
Right.
you don't jump in, they might learn how to swim. And be like,
Right,
okay,
Right.
so we're gonna
exactly.
Get out of the situation.
You know, like
Yeah.
you can only throw the life paddle so close
Yeah.
to them.
Throw
If
it
they're-
and then let them
Right.
figure it out.
Right. If
Yeah.
they're standing there like, no, you need to throw it directly on. It's like,
Because then they're
bro,
also learning that you're the one to take them out of their problems. You know?
Exactly.
They're
Exactly.
Like,
That's
it's like
the
they
toughest
rewires
part.
their brain. They're like, okay, you are there for me now.
Yeah.
yeah,
I can't
it's
do it
like
myself.
it's you. It's
Yeah.
100% you, and
Yeah.
that leads to a whole new mess. of
Yeah. Then they got to
problems.
rewire something else. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so it's tough. I feel for
It's
you, man,
tough.
because that's a really hard place to be.
I'm sure you guys. I hope you never deal with it, but I'm sure you will.
Yeah. We have.
Yeah, that's what.
We
Yeah,
And we have.
Yeah.
And, you know, still always will.
and still, yeah, I just feel like it's a human thing, and it's gonna happen. I guess either you are that person who is causing those problems, or you're the one dealing with them.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
so I guess it's good to be the one dealing with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really set New Year's resolutions. We wanted you to be on like our episode that we're gonna post around New Year's because like
Oh,
you're
New Year's
so just like, I mean, you have a lot of your shit together, and like
Yeah.
you're so, I mean, clearly, as we've heard today, like so just kind of like wise beyond your years. And I don't know, like, so it's like good, like a resolution episode. Yeah, you know, we're like getting our shit together, and I don't really have any, but if I were to have one, and I'm working on it like every single year because I'm still terrible at it, is like boundary setting, which is kind of just like this whole thing. Like that's where it all stems
a
from, is like
big
not
thing.
being able to set
Yeah.
a boundary because it
What-
feels mean.
When did you realize that that needed to be a thing you focused on?
Definitely when I was in like a relationship with a narcissist. And that kind of like stripped everything away because they isolate you. So it was really like
Isolate you?
they narcissists like isolate you from like all your friends and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was like I was really just like dealing with this guy like just for like 2 years basically. And then coming out of that, like trying to rekindle friendships and like make new ones, and just like seeing myself like just giving and giving and giving, kind of like we were saying, like showing up before I am, doing whatever, and then, you know, having nothing left for myself.
Oof.
It's like that has just been
That's the worst.
an issue. Yeah, I
It's
think
tough.
it's an oldest daughter thing, oldest child of an immigrant family thing. I think it's a being in an abusive relationship thing. It's like so many factors, and like that, I don't know if I'll ever fully learn how to like set really strict boundaries, but like that's a resolution I have every year, to like at least get better about it
Yeah.
with everyone.
Yeah,
in
how
life.
would you set it? Like, what would you change?
Being more comfortable saying no to even just
tough.
like hangouts if I'm like
Yeah.
not up for it, or like favors,
Mhm.
or you know, whatever. Just like saying no is, I think,
Yeah.
like a small way to microdose.
Yeah,
Having
no,
boundaries,
That's
you
huge.
know?
I'm a big people pleaser, and I'm working on
Yeah.
that too. Boundaries is another thing. My
Yeah.
therapist is like sending me worksheets on. Like, and like saying no is such a good practice, even though like it hurts. But because I'll fucking like look at my schedule, someone like, oh, see you at 4 today, right? And I'll like look at my phone. I'm like, when the fuck did I schedule all this
Yep.
shit?
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
like, you know,
Happens
because I just
every
said
week.
yes too much to some, you know. So
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a hard thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely a hard thing. I'm in the same, like, I think it's less for me setting boundaries, but it's more like knowing when it's time to go situation. Like literally like what you're just speaking of, like just being able to recognize like there's nothing else I can do in this situation to make this better. You
Mhm.
know, and it's only hurting me
Mm-hmm.
by staying in it. You know, it's only hurting the other person by staying in it. You know, I think it's just like more of an honesty with yourself type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, which is like something that I had to do with a family member this year. Like through the process of this year was like, and talking to my brother about it as well. And we both had that same issue of like, when is enough enough? You know what I'm saying? When do we get to the point where we aren't able to love this person out of this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
that's a really hard thing to do, because if you can very easily keep lying to yourself and being like, no, I can handle this for a lot longer. I can
Yeah.
handle this for a lot longer. I can do
Mhm.
this. I'm strong and be able to do this. Sometimes the strong thing to do is knowing when to say goodbye. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I think I'm working on this
Yeah.
this next year. You know, it's just honesty with myself of like what I am able to do, and knowing that I'm not Superman with
Yeah.
with all this shit.
Love
you know
that.
what I'm saying? So
Good. Those are
Yeah.
great. Love
Yeah.
those.
do you have any?
I mean, it's not, not yet. And I don't always set resolutions. But if I had to set some this year or this upcoming year, it would probably be twofold. It would be move towards or act on discomfort more often, like all the time. And then it would be like be more steadfast. Like the steadfast thing is like when I'm in my routine, like I'm so powerful. When like I'm like on my I love to have a schedule. I love to have a routine. I love to
Yeah.
have
Same.
my bag packed the night before the gym and just wake up, grab it every day,
Yeah.
meals. I love to have that shit going. And like things happen, work, or in this last year, it was like a relationship with like, you make sacrifices for the person you're with. So like, it'll throw you off if they have a different style of routine. But this year, I'm not going to make any sacrifices. I'm going back to it already. And then the discomfort thing is like, anytime it's, we talked about it kind of a second earlier, like something that makes you uncomfortable, that means you need to address it right now. And like usually act on it too, because that's usually the thing that's either holding you back from something, or that is like really you need to handle it's time sensitive, or
Yeah.
like it's almost like a festering wound. So it makes you discomfort. You don't want to like, oh, my arm hurts, I'll worry about it later. It's the same thing with
Yeah.
shit in your head or your
Yeah.
emotions. Like
Exactly.
something is like tingling or feeling weird, like hard conversations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like to do the hard or nasty things first usually, but I haven't been doing that much lately. I don't know why.
Same. Yeah.
I'm giving myself a break, but there shouldn't be a break from that. It should just
Right.
be regular, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to focus on acting on discomfort more often.
Yeah.
Just like
And people appreciate rational people appreciate that more. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like rational people appreciate that you bring it something to them immediately.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
let it get fester.
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And
Just-
people always appreciate like conversations, or also like, you know, when something awkward's happening in a room, the person who like finds a way to bring it up really quick, funny is always like the savior. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God
Yeah.
somebody
Thank
did
God
this for all
somebody
of us.
brought it up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I